So this year I celebrated my calendar birthday on June 7th. On September 8th, I will have a lunar birthday because I've created a book and a chart where I can find out where my birthday actually went through the 19-year cycling. It will move throughout the calendar because our calendar follows the sun. I want to go back to what the moon was doing. So September 8th is the time that I will graduate into a new year of life based on the physics of what the moon is doing to the earth. So looking at your chart, we start with a new moon, begins every lunar cycle. This moon comes right between the sun and the earth. It is blocking the earth's solar energy to the earth. So the earth is actually in a more calm state. Waxing moons are the ones across the top of your chart. They're growing up to be a full moon, and those are the ones you see in the evenings. The full moons are furthest away from the sun, so the sun has full impact on the earth, rising our electromagnetic field and making us all crazy. Not true. But this is what the earth is doing. It is a rise in electromagnetic field. Waning, of course, is the calming stages. So when I read this book by Dane Rudyard that stated, if you were born under a waxing moon, you'd be left-brained, and if you were born under a waning moon, you'd be right-brained, it kind of, a little light bulb went off. This is why I'm left-brained, my family are right-brained, and we don't synchronize very well. In all relationships, I've discovered, too, that wanings and waxings always love to come together. Opposites attract, do they not? And you'll know in your relationships whether you are opposites. Always, almost 99% of the time, opposites come together. It's a difficult relationship, but you'll figure it out. It works because it's balanced. The other thing I discovered by looking at birthdays was mother and child were completing full moons. So here I am, waxing gibbous moon, 76%. My firstborn was exactly the same, 76%. My son's is 24%, waxing crescent moon. They were in their 30s before I discovered that these two children made 100% when they were together. My son with myself, 100%. My daughter, who's the match to me, the waxing gibbous moon, doesn't she give birth to a baby just a year and a half ago under the waning crescent moon? Another 20, it was 22%. I mean, it makes 98%. It's almost perfect. I want to believe he's perfect. He belongs in my family. I got lots of things to talk about, and I just suddenly went blank. I did make notes, and I don't even want to look at them. Anybody have any questions? Lenka has a question.
I think the obvious one, how do I figure out what moon I'm born on?
Okay, so I have an app on my phone. I can do that for you later and look it up for you. I have written a book, but I didn't bring any because this is not about business. This is about you learning something brand new. We all have lunar birthdays. We all have 2 birthdays. And by the way, I'm 3 years younger than what the government states I am. I went on their database to apply for my pension at my calendar age of 60, knowing by this lunar phase thing that I was still only 57. And on their database, it states, because we're a multicultural country, remember, everybody is going to be applying for pensions from every different culture. The Arabs don't believe in our calendar. The Chinese do not believe. Mayans still follow their lunar calendars. It states on there, you have been measured in calendar years for the purpose of registration, licensing, and pension. Note these are not actual years. I went, bingo. I know I'm not as old as you say I am. So every 19 years, watch for your calendar. So these are when you'll know your birth moon. When you turn 19, that's the moon that's rising. 38, 57, 76, and 95. 5 times in your lifetime, your calendar birthday is exactly a match to the day you first arrived here. Yes, Cynthia?
Yeah, are you saying that we are that age? So like
No, you get back a year for every one that you've passed. So when you turn 19 calendar years, you're 18 lunar years of age. When you turn 38 calendar years, you're 36 lunar years. So you're getting back a year every 19. And I hate to say I've got to the third one already. Who has a question? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, you talked a lot about the waxing and the waning moon.
Yes.
If you're born under those.
Yes.
What about if you're born under the full moon
Ah,
or the
new moon. These are my favorites. So yes, we have left brain waxing, right brain waning. If you look at your first quarter and last quarters, they are half moons, one waning side, one waxing side. If you piece them together, you get a full moon. You get someone double-brained. This is where I was very curious, and I wish Mike had stayed, because I do believe he's either waxing crescent or full moon, and that's why he thinks the way he does. I discovered by going to these psychic fairs, I was very reluctant because I'm very left-brained. I am very stuck in, you got to prove to me what you're talking about. If there's no proof, if I can't see it, I don't believe it. And this is where I was a little critical of what the psychics were going to tell me. So when I had them come and I got to interview them, over 75% of them are waning moons. Right brain people are not just artists. These are people that think from the heart. Your right brain is governed by your emotions and your intuition and your psychic abilities. So most right brain people have psychic ability. Blew my mind. I didn't know anything about this. This whole learning lunar cycling has been a real gift to me, to understanding why my childhood was so miserable, why I hate my sisters. I get it now. I understand them. I tolerate them. We'll just say that. I just spent this Saturday at family reunion. I decided to camp, hence all the injuries. You get bruised and bashed up in your camping. Don't know what I walked into, but I got a lovely big scrape on my leg. Yeah, so it helps you to understand people. I wish I had this knowledge when I was teaching and training and hiring people. I always said, I wish I could find someone that thinks like me. If I had this, I could do that. When I wrote my first book, I actually hired an editor with the same moon as I had. So the waxing gibbous moon, what does it say about me? It says I'm logical, very practical, have a lot of common sense, but I'm a perfectionist and I need to be in control. Hence, I've been self-employed for 40 years. Because I'm not good with other people trying to control what I do and how I work. So if I'm going to hire someone to edit a book I wrote, I want someone with those same qualities. It was a match made in heaven. Her and I hit it off very, very well. We did very well together. So this thing is a whole real gift to learn. But yeah, there's apps on the internet. You can look up moon calendars and go back to dates. So you have to find the correct year, month, date you were born. Time doesn't matter, and country doesn't matter. All of this is a relation to what was happening on Earth. As long as you were born on Earth, waxings are increased energy, so the left brain is accelerating, always towards full moon. Wanings are decreasing, so the right brain opens up and the spirit is allowed to function. Hence, we get our more artistic and our musicians, and I'd love to look up Cassandra's. I did Jeff's. So I was asked the other question. So I love to look at my chart and say, my waxings are left brain, my wanings are right brained, my full moons are double brained, and my new moons have no brains. They are born into a world that is so calm. They have this easygoing, calm demeanor. They get along with everyone. They can marry anyone they want. Stay away from full moons because they're a little too much for overpowering for them. But everything else fits their lives and their world very, very well. So they don't need to have a brain. They can just be left brain when they want, be right brain when they want. They just easy go and go with the flow, get along with everyone. We have one over here.